A new report released today sheds light on the impacts from Operation Metro Surge, calling it a manufactured crisis. A new human rights group is renewing calls for accountability, sharing its recommendations for change at every level of government. Ian Russell is here with that story. Ian.
Kevin, this report outlines claims of human rights abuses by the federal government against Minnesotans during the ice surge we saw during the winter. Over 100 people were interviewed to help complete this report, but those who put it together say there are likely hundreds more who have stories to share about what happened.
The consequences of this will likely be felt for years.
As the bulk of Operation Metro Surge fades,
the lawlessness was never ours. The violence was never ours.
Details of what happened during the federal immigration crackdown are becoming more clear.
As a mental health advocate here in Minneapolis told us, Operation Metro Surge was a manufactured crisis.
In a 180-page report, the nonprofit Human Rights Watch laid out claims that the federal government violated Minnesotans' human rights during the ice surge. That report details instances of racial profiling, use of excessive force, use of less lethal weapons, among a list of other things.
These violations resulted in real harm to real people.
The report has 40 recommendations ranging from the state level up to international. That includes oversight, specifically in regards to immigration enforcement and detention. They also recommend investigations and criminal prosecutions of those who they say enabled abuse.
We recommend banning of 287G agreements.
Those agreements saw partnerships between local law enforcement agencies and ICE. Also a focus, the complete overhaul of the Department of Homeland Security.
Human Rights Watch's clear-sighted documentation is essential as we seek accountability and try to ensure that these violations are not further weaponized in the United States.
The head of the Minnesota GOP called the report political theater, adding in a statement that this crisis was manufactured, but that it happened because of state leaders who put criminals before Minnesota citizens. Now, I have reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for a statement, but I haven't heard back yet. But our partners at Minnesota Public Radio talked with a spokesperson from Homeland Security who said this story only reveals how the media manipulates data to peddle a false narrative that DHS is not targeting public safety threats. Kevin.
All right, Ian, thank you.